ये है आइडियाज ऑफ इंडिया।
मैम आपके लिए आप ये पहला सेशन है, आपके लिए 2 लगते हैं मॉडरेटर, ये लेवल पे आप हो आज, ये याद रखिए।
I'm feeling very, very privileged, very honored कि I'm sitting in the company of, you know,
Privilege or cornered? It
Yeah.
we could go either way.
both. Chetan and Veer. Veer and me have done, हम लोग ने काफी बातचीत
Lot of
की
them,
है.
yes.
Many
right from the
times.
time you joined the industry.
I think
Like
so.
one of the first ones. Yes.
Lots of
I was once
fun
supposed to
interviews.
interview your sister,
अच्छा.
and she said, I can't make it, I'll send my sister. So I said, even better, and we did a terrific interview, I remember.
And this is our first time, I
Yes,
think.
first time. Okay. We said we were discussing. We said you asked the first question, so I'm asking one question. All my questions are questions I genuinely want to ask you personally also. And I asked this in a different form yesterday to Kiara, but I'm asking you this because I think you can answer this best. Because this big debate on can a woman have it all? You know, like Indra Nooyi, the PepsiCo CEO said, well, they can't. Some say they can. Career, family, husband, kids, fitness, looks, money, fame. Guess who has it all? I mean, you do seem to have it all. So what is your take on this? Can women have it all? And what does it take to have it all?
I think, of course, I think women, every human can have it all, men, women, everybody. But I think what I have, which count most important amongst all these things, is that I'm happy. And happiness is something that I have. Because my happiness is my mental stability. And if that is not there, बाकी आपने सब जो कहा, fame, money, career, husband, kids, everything falls short. सब खत्म हो जाता है कि अगर वो mental strength and mental happiness जो है नहीं है. So for me, that is the most important that a woman should preserve. Self-preservation leads to happiness.
But do you work damn hard? Is it like a non-stop, like your day is full? Like there's never like chilling, doing nothing. You're always having to balance things, or is it pretty relaxed?
I mean, some days is very hectic. Like today was very hectic because lot of things were happening in the Khan household.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there was Taimur's school fete going on. There was my younger one, Jay's first ever concert that I missed today because I was shooting a Dream 11 campaign in Andheri. I've come from there, and Saif was actually doing a rehearsal for his film, which he's starting on Netflix next week. So he actually went to the school fair and to the concert, and I had to come here now. So it's been very busy, and I just called the kids up in the car before I got off here. And I said, have you guys reached home? Are you all eating dinner? Because now I'm still not done for the day. So yeah, I mean, there's always, you know, it's a constant battle, but I love it. I enjoy it.
Does it get easier?
You know, it's what you actually want it to be and how you want it to be. You know,
Okay.
some days I want it to be like this, and कुछ दिन ऐसे होता है जब I just want to switch off my phone. I don't want to talk to my managers. I don't want to talk to anybody, not even my parents, maybe. And I just want to be with myself and with my immediate unit, which is, you know, my 2 kids and my husband.
Well,
Which is
that's
normal, and I'm
but-
allowed.
But that's one of the interesting things about you and Saif, that both of you form a very close family unit with your kids. And though you're both public people, you're also very private people. There's a lot of stuff people don't know how you enjoy yourselves. For instance, I was shocked to discover how much you knew about fine wine and Burgundy. I mean, that side of you, you never talk about. So is that a deliberate decision to keep that privacy?
Like I said, some things should be preserved, should be kept a little bit for the unknown. That feeling of, okay, do we really know her? Do we don't? I'm happy with people. कुछ लोग assume भी कर लेते हैं कि शायद वो ऐसी होगी. जैसे कि most people feel like I'm either Poo or Geet.
Yeah.
You know, and
you're
I've
not?
made them believe that could be a possibility.
You're not?
I'm a bit of all
Please
my
become.
characters. Huh? But there's a side to me that it is very private. I like to keep it a little private. I think that somewhere it keeps my, like I said, mental health, my mental stability, because I think if everything is just left for the known and,
Yeah.
for judgment, I don't know how we'll survive as actors.
But between you and Seth, you have a reputation for being the more even-tempered one, and he's slightly moody. Is that fair?
Well, he's not going to agree to that, Veer. He's going to want to
but-
say that
but
even
you can
she's
tell-
moody.
You can tell us the truth.
I think that, we both, in a way, we ground each other. I think a husband or wife jo hota hai, I think they kind of, they feed off each other.
Yeah.
It's something. And our energies, both Saif and me, if he's hyper, I'm calm. If I'm getting hyper, he's always trying to calm me down. So I think somewhere that dynamic has worked out, but I would say that he may be a lot more impulsive, but now I think I've calmed him down.
So straight.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you mentioned privacy and having a boundary. Now, curiosity about celebrities' kids is normal. It's everywhere. It's in British royalty, like, I think the whole country goes crazy when they are having a child. And we've seen it, but we've not seen it like we saw for Taimur.
Yeah.
Have you seen for any other? It was, and by the way, Taimur comes to play in my building.
Oh, really?
And like a very normal kid. Like in Wahida building.
Yeah.
So
Vedant's house.
we've seen him so many times, and then like, to have a child who's an infant, who's a toddler, to be so talked about. Once I went there, so, by the way, fun fact I sometimes say in my talks, did you know Taimur is related to Rabindranath Tagore? Think about it.
He is, no?
He is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great,
Yes. So
grand.
there is some. How do you as a mother see it? You are very used to fame. You've seen fame for generations in your family. So in a way, I think you know how to handle it. But when it's happening to your child, and then the second child as well, and a disproportionate attention, memes, this wasn't there earlier. Now the technology
We're in the digital age. I mean, everything is, like I said, is meant for people, to just give their opinion, judge their judgment, troll us, love us, hate us.
But when kids get, like, I feel there's a boundary crossed. How do you see it? How did you handle it? Are you chill about it? Does it bother you sometimes? How does it happen?
I think the only way I could be was to actually be chilled about it. Because if I was hyper about it, which maybe I was inside, but if I would bring it out, I feel somewhere it would have affected Taimur in knowing that, something's upsetting me, or that, like there's too many cameras on me, or kya ho raha hai, kyun kar rahe hain aise, kyun photo le rahe hain. Yeah, like if I'm telling the photographer ki photo mat lo, I just feel like, if he was exposed to that, it would have probably left a lasting impact on him that he's seen this. Whereas if, like Saif just told me, he said just, head down and walk.
Right.
We can't run away from this, but instead of like trying to scar him further, let's just take it in our stride and just walk with our head down outside the airport or wherever it is. And then when Taimur understands after a certain age, which he does, that my parents are famous, so they're clicking him, and he's quite easy about it. He's very chill. And I think that's the reason he's actually really chilled and relaxed. He's
But
like...
both of you grew up being star kids in a sense, with everyone knowing who you were. Stardust would write about you.
But tab ek hi Stardust tha, ek hi
But I
Cineblitz
was about to
tha.
say that, but it was different in those
Yeah.
days, There were lines people didn't cross. Those lines are gone. Kids are fair game now.
Everything is, you're being scrutinized with a magnifying glass. I feel the digital age and Instagram and people are just making up stories.
Yeah.
Anything is just being written. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's writing a review. Sab kuch na kuch bole ja rahe hain.
In fact, your what they call Insta game. I mean, you're from the pre-internet era. Forget
Yeah, yeah.
pre-social media era.
I'm very conservative actually when it comes to
And
this.
nowadays, the latest breed of artists, actors, not just actors, everybody. I
Yeah.
would say even writers, they have to have a social media game. We have a social media star.
Your
there.
social media game also is quite strong, Chetan.
Yeah, because that's more important than
I
the
think
writing.
yeah.
We have Ori here, who has another champion of social media
Ori,
game.
my dear friend, he's also here. He's a
Yeah,
New
comes
age celebrity.
especially for your
Phenomenon.
session.
See,
Yeah. How, and I think your husband's not on social media?
No, he
At
is.
all. So, is the pressure there? Do you sometimes feel, oh my God, we better be on this, otherwise we'll lose relevance, or we better be good at this, we better hire a team who does this? Or you guys are still old school, or you have deliberate? Is it deliberate? Is it intentional to keep away? Is it like, ye samajh nahi aata hai?
Nee, I think that for Saif it is different because I think he's like, that constant posting or taking your own picture and trying to put something. I think that he's not, like, he doesn't get that. It's easier for me somehow, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I like taking selfies, I have no idea. But the idea is that I know how to channelize my life. Like, I'll give a little bit of a idea of my life, but I'll also know when to pull back. The idea is that you have to know when to pull back. I think it's people just kind of get very consumed, and the thing is maybe because I have a lot going on in terms of, like, whether it's with the kids or whether it's my work, that I don't get so affected or consumed by it.
Do you sometimes feel guilty about working and not being there for your kids? A lot of women do. What do you have to say to those who do, and how do you cope with that feeling?
No, of course, like, there was a lot of guilt that I couldn't be there for Jay's first concert, but then I kind of tell myself that I know I will be there when, he'll perform next year. And it's more for me at this age.
Sure.
Because he's 3. It's my guilt. It's like I need to be there for my joy to see what he does, because I don't know if he'll remember it. So I have to, you have to talk to yourself, convince yourself, say that it's okay. Because somewhere I feel that I can't live this guilt of, I'm not going to be there at certain times or at all times, and I'm, not there 24 hours. Because being at work or being a working mother is something that, I can't live without either. I don't know anything without that. I feel that like Taimur understands that when I say I'm going to work, I'm going to shooting. I also feel it's a healthy atmosphere for him to see that his mother as well as his father go to work. They take turns in who's probably going to be there at home. I think it'll give him a very balanced approach to, growing up and knowing how to respect a woman a lot more.
You're in a business where success and failure comes and goes very quickly. Saif, until he made it, 14 flops in a row, and then he really made it, right? And there's always a degree of tension before a film being released. 3 flops in a row, 2 hits, you wonder how long it'll last. How do you, in a home situation, insulate your kids from the uncertainties that a star's life inevitably has?
It's an interesting question, Veer, because it's so tough to not be caught up in this world of this. It's like a vicious, never-ending circle, na? Right. कि जो success, failure होता है, तो then you're like, नहीं, now I have to do something where I want to be successful. When you're successful, it's never enough. You want to constantly keep chasing it. So I feel that somewhere I can speak for myself that I've just learned to just say that this is what I want to do and only this much. And I want to step back. I've seen it all, I've done it. But now I have to find success, happiness, and some sort of comfort in other things apart from just chasing this box office, this nexus that just sucks you in. And that you just want that,
But stars claim they would do that, but when they sort of reach that level, they've got so used to success, they're so hungry for more.
For more.
But you seem to have found a balance.
I think I'm very lucky in that sense because I have to give a lot of credit to Saif. My marriage to him grounded me a lot, gave me a sort of a comfort that I felt that, and a lot of exposure to a lot of other things.
Like what?
Like life outside the movies.
Yeah.
Whether it's friendships from school, whether it's friendships from college, whether it's, family, cousins, travel, watching sunsets, going to Himachal, going to Dharamsala when he was shooting this film. I was pregnant. I spent, 3 weeks there with him. And I had just exploring, just being there, not being in front of the camera, but just being, walking around, going to the market, just enjoying your time not being an actor. I think he exposed me to that, which I started enjoying. And once you start that, I think you find that balance.
It's difficult though, isn't it?
It's difficult, but you make a conscious effort to also engage with people outside the film fraternity. I think that also makes it a lot easier because
But
you
that's
start having
always
fun.
been true of both your families in a sense, no?
I think so.
You're different in that way. You grew up initially in South Bombay.
Yeah.
Saif did not far
Also.
from where you lived also. So you both had very distinct lives, no?
And we've maintained a lot of friendships from when we were a lot younger
Yeah.
and before the movies. So I think that somehow just gives you a break and slightly more exposed to the real world of what's happening a little bit outside,
That's true.
So
Which
it's
is so
nice
important.
to, yeah.
Chetan?
I have a film industry kind of question because you're kind of like an expert. There is today we are in what is often described as the attention economy, or there's a war for attention. There was a time like people used to get bored, and then wait for movies. They're coming, and we would wait for weeks. I remember for Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, I was in Hong Kong working in a bank, and literally I bought tickets 1 month in advance, and we made a plan with 25 friends. And today, I'm not able to keep up with all the movies, all the OTT shows, and then there is Instagram Reels, and then there is TikTok, they stopped. Otherwise, I would have left over like TikTok also. And there's YouTube. And it's endless.
Yeah,
it's endless entertainment. And in the middle of all this, there is theatrical cinema still there. Do you think fundamentally something's changed for the movie business? But then you have something like a Jawan, you'll have something like and they come and break records like nothing else. And then a lot of movies are not even like making any initial. What's happening? And how are you seeing it? And how do you see OTT versus films?
I think the switch happened. I think COVID changed a lot. People being in their homes for 2 years kind of left people consuming a lot from the digital and the OTT space because there was obviously no cinemas for like a year and a half. People, entertainment, I feel in India, maximum entertainment is, films and cricket. You want to watch that. You want to go out. People really, really go out to do that. So the 2 years of COVID kind of taught us to consume a lot of other stuff, like you said, OTT platforms, people were watching, whatever was available, whatever. So maybe the audience's mindset changed for a bit. Also, their exposure to the OTT platform and the kind of films that were coming out was very different because, it's a different platform. You're allowed to show a lot more. There's a lot of different kind of storytelling. But I think eventually, the heart of where we all lie is, कि family के साथ theater में जाके film देखनी है. That spirit started coming back slowly with the big ticket films, like Pathaan and Jawan. And now slowly, I think even the smaller films are doing 80, 90 crores, like a Dream Girl. So I think people are coming back now with the hope that this is where actually their joy lies. So I think cinema will always be their first
And you're
love.
optimistic.
I'm very optimistic about it because I feel like most of the films that have released now have done really, really well because people are, they're craving the fact of that, going, singing their songs in, in unison together. They love that. That's the theater experience. And I think that is coming back and I'm not going to lose hope that it's not because I think the recent past has done pretty well.
You have to do your fitness routine. You have to do your diet. You have to raise your kids. And I'm sure you're getting more work than you can do. You are fortunate enough, you get a lot more scripts than you can do. How do you decide how much is enough for a year? And how do you know, okay, something better may come along? I mean, is it deliberate now? I have 2 kids. I cannot do as many movies as I used to do 10 years back. And then, oh my God, I really love this. I really want to do this. Does that happen? Give us an example of things like that. And how is the scheduling of your life happening? on a
If-
yearly, monthly, daily basis?
There has to be, a sacrifice because we're actually, both of us are working.
Yeah.
So we like take turns. If, I want to do a film, we try that Saif is at home. If Saif is shooting for a film, then I try to be at home. Because we're always, one of us want to be with, the kids. They're obviously of that age where they need one of their parents with them. And then we take out that time where like for in a year, 2.5 months we won't work together, which is June to August. And that is like a pact that come what may, it's okay. And I mean, you have to learn to sacrifice something.
That's vacation time. So, that's
that-
family vacation.
Because that's a family vacation and that's the longest period that, Taimur gets his holidays. So we want to spend time together, travel, be at home. It's not necessary that we have to be on a holiday. The idea is that we just have to be together. And we don't have to, both of us don't want to work at that time.
And then, so it's turns. If he's done a movie and then you both have a good movie, say, it's my turn now.
Yeah. it
You're
is
changing
literally
the
like
diapers
that.
for the next few months.
Yeah, luckily the kids are not in diapers,
When
but
it
the
was
fact
like-
is that in
yeah.
the sense, he's there or I am there. So
Okay.
it's tough. So one of us is always sacrificing.
Oh, fair enough. That's
Yeah.
what marriage is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, working moms have to do that. And you have to do it happily.
Yeah.
From
the time you joined the industry to now, do you feel the way in which women are being treated in the industry has changed? Or is it still the same?
No, I think it has changed because I think a lot of strong women have done a lot of strong parts.
Yeah.
They have done films that have been loved by the audiences, by the masses, by the film people, by the critics, and at the box office. So whether it's, lead actresses like Kangana, like Vidya, like Deepika, or myself, I think we've always tried to stand for roles that have risen above just being, there in the film.
Yeah.
So, I think that has what has really, really changed a lot of dynamics on everybody, demanding a certain a role, demanding a certain fee, demanding a certain position. And I think today things are different.
Also, the old argument that people went to see heroes at the box office and the women were just incidental, that's dead, no?
No, I think people are going to see films.
Yeah.
And I would want that people go to see cinema.
Yeah.
ये नहीं है कि हीरो को देख रहे हैं या हीरोइन को देख रहे हैं, हम पिक्चर देख रहे हैं, हम साथ में फिल्म देख रहे हैं, कहानी सुन रहे हैं, गाने सुन रहे हैं और साथ में खुशियाँ बांट रहे हैं, because that's what our films are. It's not कि okay, it's a male centric film or heroine typical centric. I mean, my film is releasing on the 29th of March. It's called Crew. It's about 3 air hostesses. There's Tabbu, me, and Kriti Sanon in the film. But I want to look at it as, I don't want to look at it like, oh, it's a female-centric film. Heroine-oriented picture.
It's a film about people.
Yeah.
And some people are male and some are female.
Yeah, what is the problem? And
Yeah.
it's a film. Go watch it, enjoy it, love it. Why are you giving it names? It's a film.
In fact, another thing that has changed, and I'm sure you agree or maybe you can elaborate more on it, is that there was this notion, stereotype, that there's a shelf life of an actor, especially female actor. There's a shelf life when it comes to them
शादी के
married.
बाद तो no
शादी के
chance.
बाद, and for you, and not just you. It's not just you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like you are the exception. For a lot of, we don't even know, sometimes we have to think, is she married? Is she not married? I mean, it doesn't even, we never think.
Absolutely.
But it used to be different, and even kids, nothing. Age also.
I think, not at all. I think today, audience also has become accepting. And I think age is just, a number. It's something that you're as old as you look today.
Well,
You have to be fit, you have to look good, yes, because it's a visual medium. So we have to look after
You
oneself.
look like the clothes brand. It's called Forever 21.
No, but I don't want to ever be 21 again. I'm
Why?
very happy.
Why not?
No, I love the fact that I think at 21 I was so much more like hyper and anxious. Aajkal ke bhi 21-year-olds, they always, when I see them, I'm always like, God, just wait till you're like in your 40s, you'll be much more calmer. I think I'm in a happy place like that.
But
no?
going forward, I mean, to take his question forward, do you see yourself acting forever? Or do you see yourself stepping back?
I don't know. My grandfather always said, "Na jeena yahan, marna yahan,
That's right.
iske siva jana kahan." For me, I've just grown up with that. He's exposed us to that, and for me, that is what I want. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to be on a
But that
movie
is
set
in the
forever.
family, right? Till the end, he was planning his next film.
Yeah.
Even if there were downs, he always bounced back.
Yeah, I mean, he lost everything in Mera Naam Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, to his last shirt, there was nothing. But he
And
just
Kala
fought.
Aur Kala after that. And
Yeah,
then-
yeah,
And it
absolutely.
was Bobby that saved
Everything.
So, given that, are you like a child of the industry, brought up in the industry, and part of the industry till you die? Or at some stage, will you walk away?
I don't know if I'll walk away because I just love what I do. And I'm just passionate about being in front of the camera and doing different parts, like just showing, just straddling that, the fact that I can do different characters, like Janeja will be different from Crew, and I take great pride in it being like, one is like a comedy role and one is like, such an intense thriller. So for me, I don't know anything else and I want to work forever. So, I mean, I don't know. But
Yeah.
20 years later, we'll still have a chat and we'll figure it out.
No, my guess is you will be doing this right till the end. Chetan, go ahead. We should wrap up and you should do it.
There's a lot to learn from you. And I think it is truly amazing how you've managed to not just look great, but evolve over time, not just as an actor, but as a person. And I think I don't know you when you were 21, but today you come across as really grounded and really like get a handle on things and seeing fame in the mature, proper way. I think it's been really interesting talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you so much.
The full conversation, और करीना बस I think एक ही चीज बोल सकते हैं, we love you.
Thank you.
And we hope you keep acting forever.
Yeah, of
because
course.
that will be our good luck. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for
Please
having
give
me.
it up for Kareena Kapoor Khan. And I'd like to invite on stage now Chandrasekhar Ghosh, MD and CEO Bandhan Bank, and also Avinash Pandey, CEO ABP Network, to hand over Kareena a memento from Ideas of India. और करीना की एक्टिंग prowess इतनी बड़ी है, she is a change maker for us. She's made a lasting impact in the industry and she's got many, many years to go. So we'd also like to hand over Kareena the Change Maker Award for creating a cast of memorable characters from Geet to Maya. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Show Kareena Kapoor Khan the love that we feel for her. Thank you for bringing us joy through your work. Thank you very much, Chetan. Thank you, Mr. Sangvi.
ABP Networks, Ideas of India.